Charging the Devil's Keep, written June 27th, 2018, completed at 3:26 p.m. After years spent brooding and planning, I spent the whole night the sky scanning for the coming sign of my star of victory. Now it has appeared, it will be history. I compose in pages written in black silken ink. Black is my hair, now there's the link. Star of victory, grant me my wish of glory. Star of victory, with conviction tell my story. With your bright ominous glow in the night sky, the consummation of clockwork schemes try to manifest in climaxes of great satisfaction. Christ consciousness sincere put into action. God's promise to us his children blessed. For freedom and perfect creation here stressed. All will be resolved, all will be so rightly amazed. To be in existence will mean to be so very crazed, in enthusiasm for life and creation by God's hand. In our times, disbelief, greed, and evil grip the lands. Thou all to some degree the truth given. What a terrible, precarious way to live in. Encourage standing against the nightmare of surviving. Anyone who admit the world were perfect be lying, unless you knew of my theories. Strange ways to give an answer queries regarding the spiritual essence of existence. That it is perfect, and therefore hence, that perfection comes to us blind children scorned from the sins of our fathers who were spawned and born, from mother's milky breast torn, sent to labor and fear for the days before us then. When would life be perfect, but when? When it is realized the greatest aspects of life came not when we have breath, but when we pass the solemn doors of death. I'll not bore you with tales of heavenly mansions. I'll tell you instead of what a view sensation fashions. Sensations like emotions, feelings, thoughts, and life combined by our physical limitations brought by putting a soul to flesh of blood and bone, and forced them to live only in the present and alone. For only in God's heaven do we know the meaning of being together and having the feeling of true and total friendship of love, of a feeling joy that none will be above. But I say again that a problem of the living, to live only in what the present is giving, to be damned to be trapped in the moment, when the ecstasy of for living and forever foments an understanding of what we were meant to thrive in. Spiritual existences with no borders or set dimension. And while I'm on the topic of it, let me mention, in the vast depths of the seas of death, there humanity lives forever, only left the quiet peace of a godly silence. In death, nothing from our dear life is preserved and kept, but into death we will gain it all when we have leapt from the shapes of seas and fertile soil into great trees for our own earthly toil, that reach and grow, whose roots take hold deep. We may only be more if we lose what we keep. Competition drives conflict into our earthly lands. Physical limitations dictate conflict into human hands. Want for food, land, or water, or whatever more. The limitations of our world is the problem at the core of the issue of coexistence on the planet Earth. We inherit the totality of divinity, that in death we lose it all and gain the infinity, to divvy up and share. No need to eat or drink, no need to shit, shower, or even blink. No more life to bring the tragic end of slaughter. Death takes us to a state where we are no longer caged, where our souls can blossom unfazed by physical limitations so surely made to enslave us all in Satan's game, where none are saved from a fate of abject distortion. Existence is an ocean, and death be its only harbor. Through its ports we may then so garner endless connection, and where make the mortal coils barter, where we sail grand ships of gilded thunder. We're liberated and turned to wonder. But none may gain death's treasure and tell, and this causes some of us to go insane, and of good judgment and reasoning refrain. Great abominations arise, defying the end. Mortals like foul pots of scum, rotting forever. They think they're so ever very damn clever, in eluding the end of their physical selves. Man is a machine set to run for a period of time. Before long the systems break down to grime, and the soul need to fly again in the skies of eternity. And as the ageless men go on and live with no fear of none, likely there'll be only a few who'll known the evil done. As men live in the sway of the one called Satan, They will find new and horrendous ways to hate him. The natural order of time before time long gone. They'll be stuck in days with no new dawn. The machine meant to die cancers into a rot, without the release of forever in their hearts brought by the emancipation of the grim reaper come, to a continuous cycle like the moon and sun. Star of victory, shine your light and blind my foes. For while I feel the vicious blows of misfortune of being a man trying to convince sheep to charge the guns of the devil's keep. Day of victory, hear me now, be today or better. Why don't you come yesterday, bring a letter, explaining your appearance in the skies of men? I may call you star of victory, but for most when? Is the time of defeat come, and so justly then? Star of resolution may you be renamed, and in your path may all be so shamed, but also should all be so exalted, and be rewarded as much as faulted.